It's our second stream of the day, and we are watching England versus Denmark in the Nations League. Gareth Southgate's picked his son again, so don't worry about that. There's no start for Jack Grealish. Mason Mount starts. I think many of us would have predicted that one without much foresight. But look, England had a very good result at the weekend, didn't they? And that was a result that I think that they deserved. I thought Declan Rice was fantastic in the second half. So well done to him for that. And Manchester United are not playing. Rice and Phillips in the midfield too, with Maitland-Niles and Reece James, Walker, Cody and Maguire, with Mount, Kane and Rashford. So he's rung the changes. He has rung the changes. Give him credit for that. But it's interesting, isn't it, with Southgate? He brings Cody in, he brings Reece James in, he brings Maitland-Niles in, but then yet again he refuses to start Jack Grealish. So in one way he's made those changes. You know, Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't play and Trippier doesn't play, but then he doesn't pick Grealish and still picks Mason Mount. It's just odd. Ow, to poke himself in the eye. It's just odd. It's just odd to me. But you know what? It's down to him, isn't it? It's down to him. I've just poked myself in the eye and it's going to water a little bit now. There we go. Right, let's go Denmark, says Patrick Connors. So yeah, looking forward to this. I think England should win, and I think if England do win, they'll be. I think only the top team in the Nations League qualify, so they should. I say they should win this, but then again, I remember watching the first game over in Denmark, and they didn't play particularly well, so they may not find it as easy as we thought. No place for Jadon Sancho as well. You know what it is? I just think, and you can clip this, you can agree with it, whatever you bloody well like. I just think Southgate is a very dictatorial, grudge-holding manager. And I think that he has not picked Sancho. Marcus Rashford's just kicked off without taking the knee. And we are off and running now. Yeah, I think he's a very dictatorial manager. I think he holds grudges. Southgate needs his head examining. Grealish must have piped Southgate's wife. It's the only reasonable explanation, says OG Melonhaze. I don't agree with the wife thing. And Adam No One says, where is Trent Alexander-Arnold? Well, this is the thing, Adam. He's made changes to the team, but then it's the same old... Oh, I've got to pick Harry Maguire. I mean, what is it about Harry Maguire? I'm a Manchester United fan, and I do not understand it. I don't get it. Like, he seems to have to start every game for England and Manchester United. I don't know what it is. I mean, in training, he must play like Prime Maldini, because there's no justification for picking him every bloody game. And he gets picked every game for Man United, and he gets picked every game for England. And it's ridiculous. It really, really is. This is a disgraceful team selection from the PE teacher, picking his son Mount again, another golden generation ruined like Sven did years ago. So no Jadon Sancho starting, no Jack Grealish starting. Obviously Foden and Greenwood have been left at home, and the dictatorship of Southgate continues, whereby he just doesn't pick players because they've upset him, and that's no way to manage when you're not a very good manager. So, yeah, I don't get it. And Jordan Pickford in goal. Lucas, I mean, look, I've not even got my blood pressure up for that one. Jordan Pickford in goal again. Just madness. No wonder people moaning about Southgate. I still don't understand people complaining about Southgate playing three at the back, says Blue. Well, he thinks he's a tactical genius. That's why. Harry Kane. And... Schmeichel's under that. But I don't think Denmark will be an easy game. Not by any means. They've got some good players. Sterling's injured, J. David. I really have hurt my eye. And I don't know why. I just don't know why. I'm not listening to hiccups. My daughter has really bad hiccups, and it's one of the most irritating noises in the world. And she hiccups like every 5 seconds. But normally I just chuck her in the shed. That's a joke. Yeah, but it is very annoying. Oi, I'm not listening to hiccups. What are you going to do? Terence says, no Lingard, WTF. I have really hurt my eye. Start an Ultimate Team series, says Tyler. I'm going to. I'm just very, very busy at the moment. Oh, look at Kyle Walker. He thinks he's bloody Messi. Kyle Walker's a really, really interesting footballer, isn't he? Because on his day, he can be really good. And on another day, he can be total shite. Cross comes in, back post. Maitland-Niles, you should attack that. Do you think England mentality drops after the World Cup fallout, says Blue FT216? No, I just don't think. I think Southgate's a bit like Southgate's a bit like your maths teacher driving a McLaren. He just wants to drive at 60 miles an hour. Doesn't want to drive the car like it should be driven. Doesn't want to take risks. Doesn't want to put his foot down. Doesn't deserve the car he's driving in. Should be driving round in a Vauxhall Astra. I mean, I think with that England team, he's almost got a Ferrari. But he won't put his foot down. Mark, some cracking Premier League games this weekend. Which watch-alongs are you doing? Merseyside Derby, City versus Arsenal, United game on Saturday. Could do them all. I can't do them all, Andrew, because basically the Arsenal-Man City game is going to be on at the same time that the team news comes out for United. So I can't literally go from one game to another. But I'm going to... According to Romano, Roman Abramovich wants Haaland at Chelsea next summer. Thoughts, says Tyler J. Well, he'll get him. He'll bloody get him. Hi, Mark. Trippier left back the other day now. Maitland-Niles, yet Saka is on the bench, says Jordan Such. Mate, you're just identifying the problems with Manchester United. So Harry Maguire's just been booked there. Well, they've not took the free kick yet. Ericsson, well out by... Carl Walker's had a decent start to this game, actually. I'm just looking at this TikTok of Brandon Williams. He is just social. He's just all he's bothered about at the moment is social media. Like, he's tweeting out all the time. Your third choice left back, mate. You need to sort your career out. You know, you've got an opportunity at right back. Stop focusing on your social media and focus on your career. You've not made it yet. That pisses me off as well. I think he's a good player, but I don't see young players at other clubs focusing on their social media before they've actually made it. And I think United are a bad club. Because I think Man United... Ooh, good tackle there from... Man United are a club that promote social media clicks because they love it. And then players become social media obsessed. Another cross that just went through Harry... Watch this on the front post here. Cross comes in. Harry Maguire's position is terrible again. And he doesn't block the cross. And they nearly score. Cheers for watching. And the only way Maguire should start on Saturdays if he keeps a clean sheet and scores a hat-trick, says Daniel Luciano. Would you rather see Mount or Maddison starting for England, says Road to Dawn? Probably Maddison. Mark, get a beer in your hand, bro, says Jay Perryman. I don't drink in the week. I try not to. And another good shot there. Ericsson with the cross. It's Dolberg who's had 2 shots here. Oh, it's poor from Phillips there, to be fair. Just loses his man. Gets... it's another corner. I think it's on Sky. Well, I'm watching it on Sky, Curtis. I don't think. I know. I like Calvert-Lewin, Lucas. Well played by Rashford. Phillips clears it. But Denmark have started off quite well. Certainly they're better. I think every team that England play, they just play us off the park, don't they? Doesn't mean we won't win. Maitland-Niles has done well there. Nice little takedown. Pickford clears. What was the player that I thought was absolute shit for Arsenal? It was Maitland-Niles, actually, wasn't it? I thought he was absolutely crap against Liverpool. I really did. Yeah, I did do... I've already done FIFA today. I shouldn't have done FIFA today. You got a bonus. I don't normally do FIFA on the same day I'm doing a watch-along, but I did do it today. It was a good episode as well. So there is a FIFA on today. Denmark keeping hold of the ball here in the first 10 minutes. Here's Harry Maguire. Puts it out for a throw in. Oh no, it stayed in. Well done, Harry, with your left foot. Thoughts on Arteta, says Davey. I think Arteta's doing a good job. I do think he's doing a good job. And I think he's bought well. And the thing that worries me about Arteta and Arsenal is if he keeps having summers like he's just had and adds 3 or 4 players every summer, then in the next 18 months they're going to get better and better. I said at the end of last season that it will be a miracle if Arsenal get top 4. I don't think it's a miracle anymore because I think that there is a spot available in the top 4. And I think that spot's been put up for grabs by United through their lack of activity in the transfer window. I think Chelsea have got to get top 4. You can't spend all that money and not get top 4. And obviously Liverpool and Man City. But I think United may have given a top 4 spot. Well, they've certainly put one up for grabs. And I think Spurs, Arsenal, maybe even Everton, with the business they've done, have given themselves a chance. Another cross coming in. Good header away by Cody. And that's a terrible shot. And it's gone out for a goal kick. What's the lineup, says Gaming? So England have got Pickford in goal. Maitland-Niles and Reece James as the fullbacks on each side. Then you've got Harry Maguire, Cody and Kyle Walker as the 3 centre-backs. Phillips and Declan Rice. And then Mount, Kane and Rashford. No Sancho, no Grealish. Can you imagine if Southgate was managing United, says Salah Ahmed? It'd be 5-3-2 every bloody week. Thoughts on Benrahma? He's coming to West Ham, says David Moyes. Well, you should know more than me, being as you bloody bought him. But no, I think he's a good player. I mean, look, Ollie Watkins has done very well at Brentford. He has done very well at Brentford, and he's had a good start at Aston Villa. You know, I forget the name of the other lad at Brentford, but Benrahma and Watkins, and I can't remember his name. I feel really ignorant. They all did really well last season, so I think he would do well at West Ham. I do. I don't think there's any reason why not. Leeds are going to finish above United this season, says Bags. I'll tell you what, I'll take that bet. 20 quid, Bags. Come back in whenever this season ends. I was going to say in May, but you never know in this world. You won't finish above United. No. I think people are sleeping on United. I know we've not had a good season, but Mason Mount, crap cross. I think you should have looked for a penalty there. Would you get Wenger in for England, says Cams? Yes. He could have gone down there, Mason Mount. Why didn't he go down here? Not the brightest. Well, it wouldn't have been a penalty, actually. Delaney didn't even touch him. 13 minutes gone then. A couple of half chances for Denmark. Nothing for England yet. And Denmark, the better team on the ball. Let's go for a throw-in. Mark, thoughts on Laporte? Well, he's obviously got a brain if he watches going for Goldbridge. If he watches me play FIFA, he's obviously got a personality. So, fair play for him retweeting it. As I always say, rivals, not enemies. You know, he's probably got more of a personality than some of the United players. They don't interact unless it's somebody's birthday or when it looks good. You don't see many Man United players interacting with people with a sense of humour, do you? Probably not allowed, to be fair. Well, don't interact with any of them. Don't interact with that Goldbridge. Don't want people to think we like him. You're on the Glazers payroll now. You can't have a personality. Good tackle by Phillips. MUFC 2004 says, I've got a gut feeling we'll play 3-5-2 against Newcastle. Mate, you got your numbers wrong. Man United don't play 3-5-2. They play 5-3-2. We don't play a 3-5-2. A 3-5-2 is an attacking formation. We won't play that. We'll play 5-3-2. And I think the sad thing is, I think he's got to do it because of the lack of striking options. But should you be playing a back five against Newcastle? FIFA says, can you see a title surprise win this season? No. Well, what I would say to that is, does Laporte run Goldbridge World, says Jack Masker. Oh, no, you've all figured it out. Rashford with a long shot there. Waste of time. Absolute waste of time. Just because you can hit a shot sometimes that moves around in the air doesn't mean you can shoot from 35 yards against Kasper Schmeichel. It's just silly decision there. But, no, I think Everton against Liverpool on Saturday lunchtime is massive for the Premier League, really, because Liverpool last season didn't lose a game until Watford, which was, the season was nearly over, really. It was just before lockdown, wasn't it? So they've already lost a game this season, and they've lost to Aston Villa, which is a game you wouldn't ever expect them to lose. So I think that if Everton can take points off Liverpool on Saturday, there's hope for the Premier League that it could be an interesting one. But I personally think Liverpool are going to be too good for everybody again. Sloppy by England here. Poulsen. I do like Poulsen, although he's just done something absolutely shite. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. England, Denmark. Eriksen's got it in a good position here. That's a poor ball. That's good by Rashford there. I'm liking this from Rashford more. The directness from Marcus Rashford there. And he's pissed off because he didn't get it back. Rashford needs to stop stopping with the ball and just get on his toes. That's the player that Marcus Rashford is. Yes, half the time he's going to lose the ball, but Rashford, ball at the feet, give and go, or run with the ball. I don't like Rashford when he tries to be Pirlo. Slows the game down. You're never going to be that player. Marcus Rashford, get the ball, run with the ball, or pass and move with the ball. See there. Didn't work, but it's the right thing. Gets the ball, tries to play a 1-2 with Harry Kane. Tell you what, this game's going to be harder than I thought. That's poor defence by England there. They let Eriksen run and run and run with it, and he has a shot, and it's a bad shot. Newcastle fan here, Mark. Does ASM and Wilson scare you? So maximum does Daniel Thompson, yeah. I think... Look, I don't know how United are going to line up on Saturday, but pace is something that we really struggle against. Any Mexican players interest you for next window, says Gustavo Torres? Mexico are always a team I really enjoy watching in the World Cup, but I'd be a liar if I said that I knew any Mexican players coming through that would be good for United. Lozano was a player I really liked the look of, but I don't really know what's happened with Lozano. He seems to have regressed since he went to Italy, but he was a player I really thought was going to be, sort of like James Rodriguez sort of standard, but it doesn't seem to have kicked off for him yet. And I know he's getting on yet. If I get a PS5, can you play me at FIFA, says Ruben Dunn? I'm sure it can be arranged. Ooh, Italy are beating Netherlands 1-0, says Liam. Well, Italy are a very good team. Watch out for Italy. They are one of Europe's best. People give us Barca fans crap for losing 8-2 to Bayern, the world's best team. Can we agree that losing to Aston Villa 7-2 is way worse, says Abdul Raza? Yeah, but you know what, mate? Barcelona are shit. Like, Liverpool are way better than Barcelona. I don't even know what's going on at Barcelona. I think it's a shame. I think it's sad. I mean, it's not as sad as what's going on at Manchester United, but what's going on at Barcelona? You've got the world's best player who doesn't want to be there. I just don't see much talent at Barcelona at the moment. The Netherlands have just replaced their manager, haven't they? I don't think... I presume he's not manager of the Netherlands anymore. Old Koeman. Phillips to Wickham across in. Cleared by Denmark. It's quite a good game this so far. They're more equal than Belgium. Denmark are giving it more of a go. Jeremiah says Barcelona will be back though. Will United? Well, no, they should be back. They've got the right mentality at their club. They do want to keep winning. Ollie will be loving this tonight. Harry Maguire playing in a back three. Oh yeah, it's lovely. Carrick, have you seen Harry playing at right centre back for England? He'll definitely be playing there against Newcastle. I hope he's got the captain's armband. Cornelius says, Calvert-Lewin or Harry Kane? Come on. Harry Kane's better than Calvert-Lewin. But I do like Calvert-Lewin. Oh, look at you, Southgate, drinking your water. You're bloody school teacher. He's like a school teacher. I think he is like a school teacher because he's strict. He wears a waistcoat and he punishes people with talent that he doesn't understand. My teachers used to be like this. They don't understand creative people. They just want robots. It is such a cliche, but my teachers, numerous teachers said to me, you'll never amount to anything. I don't think you can say it anymore. And it's such a cliche anyway, because, everybody says it, but I'm not starting a career with Leverkusen, Michael Ducker. I've just started a career with Manchester United, which is on this channel. I'm only halfway through season 1, and I'll probably do at least 20 seasons. I won't really. I doubt I'll even do. I don't think I'll even do 5. Do you regret not hiring Ryan Giggs when he was the interim? No, I don't rate Ryan Giggs. Ben, I don't rate Ryan Giggs as manager. Ashmere, I've just had to get rid of you because it's just such a stupid message. I'm not even going to read stupidity like that out when they're on the bloody bench for England. Lovely ball this. Harry Maguire should be getting back. Harry Maguire should be making the tackle here. Oh, look at Pickford sliding on the ball. Mark, I'm a teacher and you'd be fired in a second if you ever said that to a kid. That's nuts. Someone said it to you, says Daniel Luciano. Mate, school. Like I've not been at school for over 20 years. Like, used to get stood on chairs. What else used to happen at school? Oh yeah, loads of stuff used to happen over 20 years ago in school that could never happen now. Used to get the cane. Not when I'm not that old, but you know that did used to happen. I think it's gone a bit stupid the other way, though. You know, I think some schools are stupid. Nice little bit of play from England here. Mason Mount with his little deflection again ends up with a corner. He's a jammy little bastard, he is. And it's a corner for... It's not fair. I don't mind Mason Mount, you know. I really don't mind. I think he's getting the victim of... You know, like the teacher's pet? It's not necessarily their fault that the teacher makes them the pet. I actually don't mind Mason Mount. I think he's a good player, but he's just to me, he's not fit to lace the boots of Jack Grealish, and I think it's bloody ridiculous that he gets picked over him. It's just annoying, isn't it? It'd be like back when Gaza was playing. Gaza doesn't play, but David Platt does, and David Platt was a good player, but he won't bloody Gaza. It's like Brazil, you know, not picking Neymar and picking Willian. I could do this all night. It's like France not picking Mbappe and picking Giroud. I've run out. But you know what I mean? Mason Mount's not a bad player, but Grealish is just way better. We better play Matic, Van der Beek and Bruno versus Newcastle, says Rudy. And I got the old, you'll never amount to anything at school, and I set about proving them wrong. What do daft kids do now? Just carry on as normal, says Nick. Well, Nick P, you know, I think you're right there. I mean, I don't like saying it because I think so many people say it, but it did used to go on at school when I was there. And I'm sure it doesn't go on now, but it did used to go on quite a lot. That, you know, they'd either say it or imply it. Like you'd say, I want to be this, and they'd go, no, you've got no chance of that. Lower your expectations. You know, I'd like to work at, I'd like to be an accountant. I think checkout till at Poundland is probably your limit. And they would tell you that. So maybe they did it on purpose to motivate you. Van der Beek has scored for Holland. Get in there, Donny Van der Beek. He's got to start on Saturday. But it's a cross here for Denmark. I tell you what, I love these autumn shows, midweek autumn shows. Which reminds me, next week we will be doing this time next week we'll be doing Liverpool versus Ajax, our first Champions League watch-along. So looking forward to that. I don't know that Ajax are going to be that good this season. But then again, with Ajax, they'll probably produce another 3 or 4 superstars. Nothing happened with the free kick from Denmark there. Harry Maguire. Slipped. He's hurt his bottom. He's alright. He'll be alright. Photoloco says Maguire looks like he's pulled his hamstring. I think he's alright. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Krista says, I hope Maguire gets injured. Krista, I only shout you out because I knew there would be plenty of people saying it. Yeah, he's fine. He's sprinting now. I said it at the start of the game. I don't understand why every England manager and every Manchester United manager, well, there's only been Ollie really, they have to pick Harry Maguire every game. Like, he just, Carabao Cup, a cup of tea, he's there. He's on every bloody team sheet. How are you typing? We can't see a monitor, says Campbell McIntosh. Use your imagination. Ollie would still pick him injured, says Jay David. Yeah, he would. Nice ball by Declan Rice. That needed to come across first time. Harry Kane! No! I think that needed to come first time from Mason Mount. He still got it across, but I think Harry Kane wanted that first time. Will you watch The Old Firm, and who do you prefer? Says Speedy Craig. Good attempt. You know I won't answer that question. I don't know what time The Old Firm game is on. I've got a very busy Saturday, actually. Yeah. And Chelsea fans saying Lampard's the same with Mason Mount. He picks him every game. Well, at some point, Mason Mount's got to get dropped by Chelsea, surely. How can you keep picking Mason Mount when you've got Ziyech, Havertz and Werner and Pulisic? When they're all back fit, how does Mason Mount start? But then again, when will they all be fit? Your front three for England, definitely Kane and Sterling, but one more out of Sancho, Rashford, possibly Grealish. Sancho has done nothing for England yet, says Andrew C. Harry Maguire's not injured, for anybody getting excited. James Pullen says Mason Mount's good for a Chelsea. No, I'm not. He's not a terrible player. Not a terrible player. I just think Jack Grealish is way better. Kevin says that he likes Kyle Walker in a back three. A red card. Bloody hell. What a prat. You know who it is. Harry Maguire, red card, and his season goes from bad to worse. I feel sorry for him, actually. He needs a rest. You know what? There's a human being there, and we can all say he was crap against Spurs, and he was. But there's a human being there. He's picked up 2 yellow cards in half an hour. He's not at the races. That's a bad first touch. It's a nasty tackle, actually. I don't know whether he got a straight red. He was already on a yellow. I think he's a bit unlucky. I'll tell you what, I think he's a bit unlucky there. He gets the ball. I don't know. I think that's a bit unlucky, is it? Is that because it's in slow motion? I think it's unlucky. My dad's a 70-year-old West Ham fan and doesn't even know what an agenda is, but can't understand how Maguire is a United player and an England defender, says Robbo FM. Grading papers with you playing in the background. Right when you said red card, I knew who it was, says Daniel Luciano. Come on, Mark, get a beer in your hands, says Jay Perriman. And honestly feel sorry for him. Say what you like about Maguire, but this is a tough time for him, says Gav Lyons. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not totally convinced it was a red card because he gets the ball, and although his studs are up, they're not up when he kicks the ball. And has he followed through? I don't know. I think if you played the game, it's like Anthony Dunn says, he got the ball. I don't feel it was a red card, to be honest with you. I don't. And I think it was a second yellow. The follow through with the studs has caught the player, but I think it's a little bit unlucky. Having said that, it's his bad control. It's the bad control. He causes it himself. And I think that's the issue, isn't it? It's the very terrible first touch. Oh, Pickford's at it now. But they're going to get away with it there. Oh, is he giving a penalty now? Yeah, he's giving a penalty. No, he's not. I don't know what's going on here. I think he's giving a penalty. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. He fouls Kyle Walker. Is he giving a penalty for that? Oh my God. Oh, that's never a penalty. That is never a penalty. Where did they get this prat from? It's a goal. It's a goal. I mean, we've had a shocking few minutes. I don't really think it was a red card on Harry Maguire, but the control from Harry Maguire makes him have to make a risky tackle. So, look, I'll let that go. But how is this a penalty? He's already going down when Kyle Walker connects with him. I can't see how you construct a penalty from that. It's a weird penalty, that is. I tell you. Weird. Absolutely weird. Look, I'm English. I'd like England to win, but I can't see how that's a penalty legitimately. Mings has come on for Maitland-Niles. England are down to 10 men. But I can't see that. I mean, if for anyone's not watching, the ball goes up in the air. Kyle Walker gets a push off the Denmark player but holds his ground. The ball bounces. The Denmark player kicks the ball and Kyle Walker goes to kick the ball. But the Denmark player is already falling over and Kyle Walker's foot kicks the Denmark player slightly when the ball's already gone. But the Denmark player's already down on the floor. It's just the softest, stupidest penalty you'll ever see. Andreas123 said it was a second yellow card for Harry Maguire. Yeah, it was never a straight red for me, but this ref's awful. Absolutely awful. FIFA pen that one, says Nick P. Yeah, it was a confusing one. It was definitely a FIFA one. Well, yeah, as somebody just said there, now England fans know what it's like to have Harry Maguire at centre-back. Yeah, at least it's not a Manchester United game that he's done it in. But look, seriously on Harry Maguire, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. And that Greece thing, when he did the interview for the BBC, you could see how scarred he was from that. You know, it's going to really impact on you. And what's been the response from England and Manchester United to that? Here's the captain's armband, Harry, at Old Trafford. You keep going out and performing. England. Oh, come back, Harry. Play games. He ain't ready to play games. You know, this is high-end professional sport. If you aren't focused there, then you drop off down there. And I'm not talking about your cock. I'm talking about your feet. And he is nowhere near his best. And yet we're playing him in games like this. He's not at his best. He needs a break. He needs a rest. Simple as that. International refs, always shocking, says Dazu W. But I think, you know what Ollie will do? Ollie will think, well, you know what? I'm not dropping him. He needs support. Because that's what Sir Alex would do. And I just don't think that's the right thing to do, because it's not about backing a player who's done something wrong. It's not like Beckham after the World Cup. This is a player that's playing badly. I messed up my FIFA manager negotiations and I'm now paying Traore 1.7 million a week, says Maxwell Ezrin. You're going to get the sack. Who do you think is a better centre-back than Harry Maguire? Who do you think is a better centre-back, Harry Maguire or Mr. Bean, says Boogie B? Look, I mean, look, we can all have it. I'm a Man United fan. He's a Manchester United player. He's not playing very well and the criticism is valid. I lost it against Spurs because my love for Manchester United is going to go bigger than a player. But I actually feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for him because I think he's the sort of character that will grin and bear it. You know, if his leg fell off, he'd still think he can run a marathon. He's got, you can tell Harry Maguire's got that sort of attitude. Get on with it. But this is high-level sport, and people who are in charge of him need to make the right decisions. And I think Southgate and Ollie are quite similar in a way, that they both will stick with a player thinking it's the right thing to do, or he'll play his way into form. It can work more if you're an attacker, because if you're having a bad game, you just come off. But if you're a centre-back and you're playing badly, you cost your team results. He cost us against Spurs, and he's cost England tonight. This is two separate managers with the same stance. Oh, let's stand by Harry. You know, let's stick by him. He'll play his way into form. But the problem is, when your centre-back is trying to play the way into form, they're going to lose your games, and his confidence is going to drop even more. He needs taken out of the line of fire. I think I'd send him away for 2 weeks. You know, not Greece. Don't send him to Greece. God no. You know, maybe Skegness, Butlins. You know, maybe a nice lodge in Scotland, but just give him 2 weeks off and say, forget football. You know, we believe in you, but get away, have a break. That to me is what needs to be done now, because look, I think about that first goal against Spurs. Harry Maguire, we paid £80 million for him because of his ability in the air. And you watch that first goal against Spurs, you don't know what he's doing with his head. Like a bloody dolphin trying to catch a fish. So yeah, he needs to be taken out of the team. But I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will do it. So Tyrone Mings is on now. So Harry Maguire sent off, and they subbed off Maitland Miles. So they've gone to a back four with Tyrone Mings and Cody as the centre backs, Reece James at right back, and I think Kyle Walker's gone to left back. Yeah, he has. He could go to Legoland, says Amari. Ian says, why take Maitland-Niles off? We don't need 3 centre-backs. Well, more importantly, the result against Belgium means nothing, doesn't it, now? He needs to get Grealish on fast. And there's a good tweet from Phil Brown on Twitter. He says, Maguire's mental state has to be a concern. He's had a horrendous summer, a dreadful start to the season, and now just been sent off. It beggars to believe United don't sign a centre-back this summer. I'd seriously consider leaving him out versus Newcastle. I've just said to that, you know, I agree, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will drop him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will pick Maguire because he thinks it's the right thing to do to stand by him. But sometimes the right thing to do is, you know, is protecting them. Is it protecting Harry Maguire, sending him into another game of football where his confidence is low? I mean, look, I've played football when my confidence has been low. I'm sure you lot have. It could be down the local five-a-side league. You don't want to shoot, you know, your passing's astray. Football's played in the head as much as it is with the feet. Not literally. I don't think Stephen Hawkins could play like Messi, but you know what I mean. There is an element of head and feet. Super chats. His footballing ability aside, the mismanagement of Maguire by both Ole and Southgate is shocking. The man needed rest and time to reset after such a huge trauma. Yet he's been playing in every big game. I feel bad for him. No, I agree. You know, I think as fans, you've got every right to be critical of him. But I think that, you know, as with me, I've always been very sympathetic of his situation. But obviously, if you keep picking a player, as fans, you're going to criticise their ability when they're costing you points. That's natural, you know. If Luke Shaw or Paul Pogba on Saturday cost us a couple of goals, they're going to get a lot of stick. But, you know, get him on the big one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, says Ewan. And Mark, do you think Ollie lacks the bottle to make the hard decisions like dropping Maguire and Pogba? If so, is that the quality of a top club manager, says Johan? I totally agree with you, Johan. I totally agree with you. This is my concern with Ollie. I do back him. But is he going to make those decisions? I don't personally think he will do it. My Irish friend has just said that blue England jersey's very nice. Hate it. And Maguire is shit. This is what I'm just typing back. At least he's getting a rest. You're exposed now, Southgate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do now, Gareth? Now you've dropped all your flair players and you've only got 10 men. What are you going to do now, Gareth? Because you're out of your depth, aren't you? Your school teacher dictatorial approach is not going to work when you've only got 10 men against a better side. You're not going to scrap a couple of goals and win 2-1. You're not going to do it. You're going to have to tactically coach your way out of this. What you going to do? What you going to do? He doesn't know what to do. He's given a lot of yellow cards and yellow cards out. He's given one red card out, but we're just about to hit half time, so we will be playing either or in a minute. Yeah, you and me, you can light up my life if you stay by my side. We can rule the world. Oh yeah, I like to sing songs in a different way. And I don't know what song I'm gonna do next. But Gareth Southgate could do with this sort of team talk at half time. Bring a bit of drama, bring a little glamour. Come on, Harry Kane, score a goal against Denmark. God, England are boring. They're boring. They're boring. Martial's not injured. Maguire runs after the ball like the fat German kid in The Simpsons, says OG Melon Hayes. Why do I know who you mean straight away? I haven't watched The Simpsons for years. Martial's not injured. Martial's fine. Kyle Walker is at left back. Madness, says Jordan Such. Well, I'm just glad Luke Shaw doesn't get picked by this prat. You sound like Neil Diamond. I want the Bay and Lindelof partnership back. Ricky for England manager says I love United. Mark Maguire has to play against Andy Carroll, says Robert McCormack. Yeah, that is a game I don't want to see Harry Maguire play. You know, Harry Maguire's brilliant in the air, but Andy Carroll will just end him. Breaking news says Anch. Ollie's got a hamstring injury. Breaking news, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's rabbit's just died. Don't even know if he's got a rabbit. Half time, and it's been a really interesting half. England 1-0 down to a dodgy penalty. You know what? To be fair, dodgy penalty. Proper dodgy. And how far will England go in the Euros, Mark, says Ashley Crane. With this manager, I don't think we'll get out of the group stage. We don't look anything like a team. You know, I watch Man United every week, and Man United are better than England. England have just got no fluidity. They've got no pattern of play. It's individualism at its best. And they don't have a Bruno or a Pogba, so they don't have any creativity from the midfield. I mean, Phillips and Rice, I like them, but I would never play both. Where's the creativity from the midfield? There's no creativity in that team. Who do you think should replace Southgate as the official youth? You know what? I would love to give it to Wenger. You know, give it to Wenger. I've seen Haaland now. He's a terrible header, says Jenks1102. And Van der Beek scored, says Harris. And thanks for the super chat, Stephen Cullen. And Stephen Cullen. What's Cullen? Oh, I know. Twilight. My mates just said, Harry Maguire couldn't tackle a bag of Watsits. Oh, I should have kept that to myself and nicked it as an analogy. I like that one. I'm still going to do it. No one will remember. I liked that one. It's wasted on a bloody message. Anyway, so yes, 1-0 at half-time. A dodgy penalty for Denmark, but they were the better team, so whatever. And Harry Maguire sent off. First one was definitely a yellow card, and then the second one, I think he's a little bit unlucky. But for me, the big thing with Harry Maguire is, yes, he's probably a little bit unlucky about the tackle, but he's not unlucky about the terrible first touch that makes him have to make the tackle. If he's concentrating better, he doesn't have to make that tackle. I'm a Scotland fan. I honestly think we could beat England, says Ewan. Yeah, I think you probably could. I think England could beat Scotland on their day, but, you know, England should be beating most teams. England should have... I mean, look, in a statement, England, with the players they've got, should be consistently beating teams like Denmark. But we don't. We go into every single game and we give everybody a chance. And maybe we will beat them, but maybe we won't. And that is the problem with England. That they're being massively, again, wasted. Their talent's being wasted. I said it in the first half. It's like Gareth Southgate is a guy driving a Ferrari that won't change gear and won't go fast. He's a Vauxhall Astra driver. We need somebody who wants to take risks, who wants to put their foot down and take advantage of the speed and talent that we've got. And he doesn't want to do it. If the transfer windows were closed indefinitely, would you trust Ollie to coach us to be better, says Adam Wilkinson. It's a good question, Adam. I mean, it's a hypothetical again, isn't it? But what you're basically saying is, can Ollie get the best out of these players? And I actually do think what I said on the United stand is true. We're going to find out in the next month. There's nowhere to hide. Someone needs to smack Southgate's head and force him to play Grealish. This agenda he has against Grealish is so stupid, says Tejas. I think the game is perfect for Grealish, by the way. You're down to 10 men. You need players on the pitch who can... Who are used to producing something out of nothing. I think Mason Mount's a team player. He's a give-and-go player. I think Grealish is a player that will get the ball and run with it. And and England need that. My fridge is leaking and making a whirring noise. It needs a bloody rest. It's on 24 hours a day, every day. There's an analogy in there somewhere, says Nick P. There is. And finally, Maguire shows a spine, says Billy Thomas. And Mark loves his Ferrari and Vauxhall Astra analogy. It is my go-to one, really. And he underestimates most teams, says Zidane. I just don't think Gareth Southgate's a high-level coach. His background is under 21s and Middlesbrough. It's not he's not used to high level. And look, international football is very different, but when you play international football, you are playing the best players from each country. So you come up against the Ericssons of this world. You come up against the, the Lukakus and the Eden Hazards and the Mbappes and the Verrattis and the Cavanis. Well, not anymore. But you know what I mean? You come up against the best that each country's got to offer. So yeah, they may not be as fluid because they're not used to playing with each other, but they're still very good players. And I don't think he's prepped for that level. It'd be like Southgate managing a team in the Champions League. I just don't think it's his level. Would you say if Maguire is in the starting 11 on Saturday, we should expect a loss, says Jordan Such? Well, no, I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I don't think he should be playing. And Blue FT216 says, what's going on with this England team? From the hype Russia 2018 turns into a shambles. Can't see Southgate staying much longer. I don't think there's any prospect of Southgate getting the sack. I think we're going to see Harry Maguire's red card here. Mark, are you ready for Partey this weekend? Future African Player of the Year. For first yellow card for Harry Maguire. Oh, it's definitely a yellow, isn't it? He double tackles Paulson. It's just silly. Doesn't get the ball. Could have got a red for that. Supermark for X Factor 2021, says James Rodriguez. Prime Robin or Prime Neymar, says Bogey B. I mean, that touch from Maguire. He almost deserves to be sent off because the first tackle for the yellow card was so bad. And then the second one, the first touch is so bad. You should almost get sent off with that first touch. So I've got no complaints about that for Harry Maguire. He's walked a tightrope there and, he's paid the price. I think, I can't have any complaints. I did feel a little bit sorry for him on the yellow card, but, I mean, look, they're showing it back here and they're showing the foul. But it's the first touch that puts him in danger. Mark, this team based on club value is 600 million, plus that's without players on the bench. Surely our 25-men squad is the most globally, which is shocking, says Darren O'Brien. He's just not playing the best team, Darren. Why do you do England watch-alongs just play more FIFA, says Angie S. Hey, I've done FIFA today, Angie, so don't worry. You've had your FIFA fix. Prime Robin or Prime Neymar, either or. It's got to be Neymar, hasn't it? I mean, I do like Robin, and I'm not a big fan of Neymar, but there's no way this is a penalty. There's no way that's a penalty. I can't see how that's a penalty. I just don't see. He's already falling over. I just don't see how that's a penalty. Mount shit. I think you've been deleted for that. There's lots of injuries for Newcastle, says B Mike. Well, that's a positive. We're getting excited about injuries for Newcastle now. Why don't you play Ultimate Team on FIFA? I do. Epic Challenge Bros. I've just not started it yet. It will be on Twitch. The link's in the video description if you want to follow me on Twitch, because that's where it will be. How opinions on a 2-week circuit break lockdown? I'm against it. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, to be honest, because I don't think, well, I know people aren't taking enough notice of self-isolating or reporting. I just think, I don't know. I've got nothing to say on that COVID stuff because people just aren't taking it seriously anyway. Mark, jokes. Even Mustafi is better than Maguire and he won the World Cup, says Zayn Miassi. And will you do some more FIFA 21 after the live stream, says Jay Perryman. No. I've already done it. It's on the channel. I've done it this afternoon at 3:30. Solskjaer should stop being a lady. No hard feelings. He must be ruthless, says Abukar. And Thomas Partey, says Brian Foskett. That's all we can do. Try and take the piss out of his name because we had a crap transfer window. United. So second half, can England get back into it? His only hope is to bring on Grealish and Sancho. And you know he ain't going to do it. So he's going to try and, find a way through this, which won't work, in my opinion. Yeah, episode 8 of FIFA Career Mode is out, and you can check it out on the homepage if you want to watch it. Some good goals today. Some very good goals today. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And Cooking with Goldbridge. I'm already ready, half ready for bed. Look, I've exposed myself. Pyjamas. I'm not really that fat and my legs are stretched. Look, I'm not that fat. See, that's me really stood normally. I've got my legs apart, so it makes me look like I've got a huge ass when I haven't. So don't call me big arse. Mark, honest prediction when you play Arsenal, says Miasi. Look, I'll give you a prediction closer to the time because we've got to play Newcastle, PSG, Chelsea and Leipzig before we play you. So confidence will either be lower than it is now or hopefully not. Ollie should play Lindelof and Bay on Saturday, and if they work well, he should stick with them for the rest of the run of the games. Give Harry a rest. It's about time, says Tejas. And hey Mark, which Premier League record would be hardest to recreate? Manchester United's treble, Manchester City's 100 points, or Arsenal's invincible season? Can you rate them in order? The treble's the hardest thing to do. I've witnessed all three of these things. The treble is the hardest thing to do without a shadow of a doubt because you're doing it with, in those days, much, much smaller squads. And it was a ridiculously hard season. Arsenal pushed us all the way for the title. In the FA Cup, we had to beat Liverpool, Arsenal. I'm tempted to say Chelsea, but I can't remember. But it was a hard run in the FA Cup, and the Champions League was really hard. Juventus, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. Bayern Munich were in the group stage as well. So that the treble is the hardest thing you can do. That's why no one's ever done it since. Arsenal fans will say the invincible season's never been done since, but you didn't win any cup with it. You focused totally on the league and you drew 12 games. So for me, the hardest is the treble. The second hardest is to get 100 points in the Premier League, and the third is the invincible season. Arsenal fans are going to melt down forever, PVM, but that's my honest opinion. I lived all three of them, and Arsenal was shit in the cups. They focused everything on the league, and they drew 12 games. Over 30% of the games they drew because they were just trying not to get beat, which is fine. And they did do it, and they deserved their Premier League wrapped in a golden Yorkie wrapper. But treble's way, way harder. Way harder. Al Pacino in Scarface or Heat? I'm not a big fan of Scarface. I've seen it a lot. It's a good film, but Heat is better. Sorry, I went quiet there because I was just reading about on social media what people have said about Harry Maguire, and I think the best one I've read is Samuel Luckhurst from the Manchester Evening News, who has said basically what I've been saying for quite a while now, that there's a lot of focus put on Harry Maguire's Greek incident, but for any Manchester United fan, this is a player that Bergwijn skipped past in June like he wasn't there. This is a player that got nutmegged by Bournemouth. He's been playing bad ever since lockdown, just like Wan-Bissaka, just like some others. So the Greece incident has probably made him worse, but he was already not good before that. So we shouldn't all just make it about that. Watch Kingdom on Netflix, says Mitchell Bassett. What, Last Kingdom? Very good. Looks, the situation with Maguire should really be reviewed with Man United and the England squad. What's wrong? He should have some leadership qualities. Disappointed with him. And that was from Sergey. Mark tried to buy Sancho on FIFA 21. Dortmund wanted 228 million for him. Bollocks, says Michael Walter. Well, I'll be trying that tomorrow. Luke Shaw and Trump are similar. Both enjoy Mickey D's meal. Both fashionable to hate, but if you actually look into their performances, they're good. Says Romelu Lukaku. Invincibles. Sancho might be coming on. Invincibles, greatest team in the league. Pepe this season will be better than Sancho, says Zayn Miasi. Well, of course he will, because Sancho's not even in the bloody league, is he? And who's winning the Champions League and the Euros? I don't see anyone beating Bayern again, and I reckon the Germans have a point to prove come the Euros, says the Watcher. The thing about the Germans is, they might be bad for a couple of tournaments, but they always come back. Efficient. That's what they do. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. Burko says, what's your favourite Christmas film? I tell you what, I'll allow it. My favourite Christmas film is Die Hard. Tell you what, shall I do a Die Hard watch-along this year? Just as a festive thing, should we do a Die Hard watch-along? Let's find out when it's going to be on telly, and we'll do a Die Hard watch-along. Because I've seen it so many times, I don't need to... I could easily watch it with you lot. Hi Mark, you're Nottingham royalty. Would you ever go to Jack Mate's happy hour? Says Matthew Worrell 123. Hi Mark, you're Nottingham royalty. Would you ever go on Jack Mate's happy? I'd love to, mate. He did message me about it a few weeks ago, and said when are you down in London? And I said it's difficult at the moment with COVID, and that was it. So I don't know whether they want me on anymore. I don't know whether I have to message them again. I think it's one of them things where they sort of have to come back to me. Home Alone 2 says as usual username 99. So second half's about to kick off. And away we go. Can England get back into this? Police Academy, says the Gaming Circle. Not really a Christmas. I used to love the Police Academy films, but when I was really young. I used to like all the Police Academy films when I was about 10. I don't think I've watched the Police Academy film since I was like 12. Tackleberry, who's dead in real life. Most of them are dead in real life probably now. This is the thing, you get to an age where films that you liked, a lot of the people in them are dead. Like Kevin's dad in Home Alone, dead in real life. I've got no idea whether Kevin's dad in Home Alone's alive, because why would I care? Oh yes, he ended up getting locked up for cannabis production, and the mum ended up on the streets selling her tits for £10 a suck. It's irrelevant. It's a film character, but the real character, John Hild, I think his name was. Yeah, he died. Uncle Buck died. It wasn't called Uncle Buck in that. John Candy. Yeah. You start to get to that age where these people that you grew up watching die. It's the circle of life. She belongs to the streets now, says Heel Hook. I like that line. Kevin smokes grass in real life, not on that. Would you take Zaha over Rashford at United, says EA? No. I'm not sure if you remember, but what was your reaction to United signing Ronaldo and giving the number 7 shirt? Also, we got no centre-backs to replace Maguire, says Forever PVM. I'll be absolutely honest. When we bought Ronaldo, probably the similar reaction to when we bought Pellistri and Ahmed Traore. I was excited, but expectation not very big. And considering this was like the early noughties, the Premier League then was only about 10 years into bringing foreign players into the league. I mean, it's really after the 94 World Cup that we brought in people like Petrescu and Klinsmann and a couple of others. So, and he was a young foreign player from Portugal, so expectation wasn't very high. I think my expectation with we bought Anderson and Nani to the club in the same summer a couple of years later. My expectation with those two was very high because of what had happened with Ronaldo. So I think Ronaldo did make expectations go up for buying young players from abroad. But I think when Ronaldo came in for me, I was like, I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. Polar Bear says, please don't die, Mark. It will happen. Dan James's gig's love child, says Nathan Medhurst. And I'm not... Hey, Dan James is watch my FIFA career mode. Dan James is tearing it up. I'm not sure if you all remember, but what was your reaction? I've done that one from Forever PVM. And I wouldn't take Zaha over Rashford at United. No, EA. I like Rashford. I think he's going to have a big season. Well, England have got to have a go in this game. God, Eriksen's outdoing Phillips here. Oh, he nearly played a lovely ball there. Yep. I don't know why I'm doing that. Sorry. That's even annoying me and I'm doing it. Yeah, please subscribe if you're new, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, we're closing in on 250,000. I want to do it before Christmas. 250,000 on this channel would be fantastic. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Champions League watch-alongs kick off next week. We'll be doing Liverpool-Ajax next Wednesday night. Man United against PSG will be on the United stand on the Tuesday night. What else have we got? And the weekend, I still don't know what games I'm going to do at the weekend. I think I'm going to do Liverpool-Everton, but I might be late because I've got a match in the morning that I've got to go and watch. So I might just get in the house and turn it on at about half an hour in and go live for the watch-along. So I'll probably miss the start if I did a watch-along for it. But I will be watching the game, of course. Of course I'll be watching that game. I'm very excited about it. I hope Everton can give a good account of themselves. The Watcher says, the weirdest thing you found when you pulled over a car as a police officer. My mate's dad found a brick of cocaine hidden in a box of Uncle Ben's rice. Says the Watcher. There you go. I do remember how much stick Ronaldo used to get for doing constant step-overs with no end product. The thing about it was he just kept doing it, says Nick P. Yeah. And Mark, do the Cavani celebration, says Ataro Venegas. I can't even remember what it is. Do you watch cricket or IPL by any chance, as Angie S? No. I'm really I'm in that phase now where it's really, really difficult to watch any other sport. I was watching a bit of the basketball. I didn't even watch, the finals. I've not watched any American football. I've not watched anything because the bloody football is so relentless. Like when they're not playing, you have the transfer window, and now that's finished. I'm obviously doing the FIFA stuff, so football just runs my life. Here's Mason Mount. Sideways pass. Fucking crap one as well. Get him off. You're down to 10 men. Why would you keep Mason Mount on? Like, you need some creativity. Get Sancho on. Get somebody who can do something creatively. Porik says Van der Beek's playing very well tonight. Thanks. Mega Drives never die. Lee Scuso. I don't know where mine is. I bet it got thrown away. I think for certain elements, the ego of the individualism in this team is very reminiscent of the golden era in 2000, says Blue FT216. I think just going back to that question, I think the weirdest thing that I can remember about stopping a car, and there's probably loads, is I remember, I don't know whether I can say all this actually, because they can just look up and then I've told. I don't think I can do it. I can't do it, unfortunately. I don't want to risk it. Who got a red, says Cosmic Cleanse. Shut up. You know who got a red. Google it. Celebration is the bow and arrow. Is that how you do it? Legolas. I'm watching that at the moment. Two Towers. Extended version. It's the first time I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, and it's the first time I've ever watched any of the extended versions. There's like loads of extra scenes. That's the whole point, really. Will football stop? Says Steve. No. I don't think football's going to stop. I don't think it'll happen. Thanks for the super chat from Young King, who's an Arsenal fan. So you know where this is going to go. It'll be something bitter and twisted. So let's see. What happened to the 90% club? Your club is a joke. Told you. You got a PE teacher and fridge at the back. This great club now called Business FC. Yeah. I called it, didn't I? I did call it. Why do you look scared whenever someone gets you some drink? I'm not scared. appreciation, in awe. Lord of the Rings is the best, says Yusef. Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter? I'm just saying. I can't imagine there's a world where you wouldn't like Harry Potter if you like Lord of the Rings. Favourite actor, Mark, says Luke. Look, I like all the old school ones like Adam Woodyat and Al Pacino, but I don't think DiCaprio's done a bad film. I keep saying this, I just don't think he's done a bad film, and I think that is so hard to have on your CV. And I think that, one, reflects a good actor, but two, reflects an actor that makes very good decisions. And I just don't think he's done a bad film. I mean, he probably has, but, you know, there's not been a film I've sat and gone, that's a stinker. Whereas Pacino, Brad Pitt, yeah, they have. I do like, I'll tell you who I do like as well. Can't think of his bloody name now. Batman. Christian Bale. Denmark having a lot of the ball here, but Southgate's wasted this first 10 minutes. He's got to get somebody who can carry the ball on. Just an absolute clown. And Belgium nearly... Belgium. Corner for Denmark. I mean, I'm just doing a tweet there, as I'm sure you can aware. But... like... England defensively are putting in a shift, and Phillips and Declan Rice probably work quite well in a team that's got 10 men. But your front three need to be players who can carry the ball. I would take Kane and Mount off, put Rashford through the middle, and play Sancho and Grealish either side. Not because Harry Kane's a bad player, not because Mason Mount's a bad player, but because Harry Kane is not an individual player. He relies on good quality ball into feet. And also... it's the same with Mason Mount. But what you need is, and what Harry Kane's tried to do there but can't do, is you need a player who can run at somebody and create something on their own. He's got Grealish and Sancho on the bench. And this exposes Southgate as his favouritism again. Because he's keeping Mount on and he's keeping Kane on. And he needs, with 10 men, an attacking three that can all move the ball about and in an individual sense. But Kane and Mount, every time they get the ball, they're looking to lay it off. They're looking to pass and move. But they can't pass and move because there's no support from the midfield or the defence. There's no fullbacks overlapping. And the midfield two are just sitting. So your front three have got... It's like when you play on the break against Man City. Your front two need to be quick players who are just going to get the ball and run with it. And he needs to do that. I barely remember the first time I got laid. I was so drunk and she was incredibly ugly. Have a nice evening, Mark, says Jenks. 1102. And on that bombshell, he's off to look at porn. Do you think we will put Greenwood up front versus Newcastle? Says CB. Love the shows after work. Much love, respect. Thanks, pal. I don't think Ollie's going to put out a team that's going to please everybody on Saturday night. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even convinced Van der Beek will start. I think Maguire needs to be dropped, and I think Van der Beek's got to start, and we start from there. Have you watched The Departed, says Jawad? It's only one of my favourite films ever. I love The Departed. I love The Departed. I love it. I love it. It's one of my favourite films ever. It's such a good film. Mark Wahlberg's a good actor as well. He does some crappy films, but... Haaland's release clause, Kevin, doesn't come until the summer after next, not this one. Mark, thoughts on Premier League games going to pay-per-view, says Arturo Venegas. I don't even know what we're supposed to do on Saturday. What games are pay-per-view at the weekend? Let's Google it. Because I was going to watch Chelsea Southampton, but I think that's pay-per-view. Okay, pay-per-view fixtures in October. Let's have a look. So under the new agreement, current live matches selected for TV will remain in place, and the other 5 matches not selected will be made available to fans on a pay-per-view basis. Reviewed, la la la. Fans can purchase each match for $14.95 via Sky Sports box office on Sky. Man United's trip to Newcastle will be the first game to be shown on pay-per-view, with the game kicking off at 8 p.m. The following day, Sky Sports box office will be at the King Power for Leicester City versus Villa, and the final pay-per-view will be West Brom Burnley, kicking off at 5:30 on Monday. 6 more games were added later on Friday across game week 6 and 7, including Liverpool's home fixture with Sheffield United. Arsenal will host Leicester. They've got one for them. So that's weird then. So Chelsea against Southampton at 3 o'clock on a Saturday is not a pay-per-view game, even though they would never televise that. It was Matt Damon in The Departed, Shadman. So was Mark Wahlberg. So was Mark Wahlberg. So was Leonardo DiCaprio. 15 quid to watch a game is ridiculous. And I've heard people saying, well, you know, people who go to the game have to pay 30, 40 quid. Yeah, but when you go to the game, you're at the game. It's being a part of the crowd. It's having a beer before. It's having a pie at half time. When you're at home, you can sit there in your nude if you want. You don't want to pay 15 quid to watch a game of football on the telly. Maguire couldn't orbit around a horse's arse, says Mustang Motive. Still no subs. Chelsea versus Southampton is pay-per-view, but it's on BT. So if I want to watch Chelsea versus Southampton on Saturday and Man United against Newcastle, I've got to pay 30 quid. Fucking hell. Talk about taking football away from the fans. That's a bloody joke. It's too expensive. Why don't they make it like a £5? Because more, you know, or even $7.50, because I could get a good shot from Reece James. True Romance, that's a good blast from the past film, Stuart Kelly. Cracking film, that. From an Arsenal fan, what do you make of us this season? Love the content, says Callum. You know, in all honesty, Callum, I never thought Arsenal would be anywhere near us this season, and you shouldn't be. But the reality is we've had such a bad transfer window, and you've had such a good one. You know, we're back. You're back in the conversation. You know, I think we surpassed you last year. I think in previous years you've surpassed us. And it's back on the menu again, isn't it? Who's going to finish higher? I think a £5 is fair enough, but I think 15 quid. MJ Tace is the max I would pay. But the thing is, it pisses me off because I want to watch Chelsea against Southampton, but I'm not paying 15 quid for it. This Boy's Life, Young Leo with De Niro, it's great, says Charlie Welsh. I don't think I've ever seen that one, to be fair. Unfortunately for you younger fans out there, you're going to see what happened with England when I was a young lad, with Sven-Goran Eriksson and the golden generation. We had Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, Owen, Rooney, Terry, Gary Neville, Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand. We had so many players that actually genuinely were top and world-class players. And we should have won something, and we never got near it because Eriksson was just an average manager, and he didn't know how to do it. And we're going to see it again. And these players are nowhere near. What a save by Schmeichel! Mason Mount should have scored. I don't know how he didn't equalise there. What a save by Schmeichel that is. But we're going to see it again. We're going to see another England manager absolutely waste the talent he's got. But lovely header here by Kane. No, it wasn't Kane. It was Declan Rice towards Mason Mount. That's a great save by Schmeichel. Mount needs to do better there. It's a bit high for him. Cracking keeper though, isn't he? Casper. People always say with Kasper Schmeichel he could do a better job than Leicester. He won the bloody Premier League title. Josh King subbed off, and a minute after we have 1-0, says Jenks 1102. Norway 1-1. East 5-5, 4-4, says Andrada Garza. Have you seen The Office? Come on. I'm an educated man. Of course I have. Oh, that should have been 2-0. Carl Walker, terrible defensive there. Just stands still, and the Danish player comes in from behind and heads it over. That should be 2-0. Free header. You got to hit the target from there. Hey Mark, catch you if you can. Classic DiCaprio, says Gary M. I think I have seen Catch Me if I Can. Came out around the same time as Avatar. Or The Aviator. I don't think I've seen The Aviator with DiCaprio. I don't think I've seen that one. It always looks a little bit boring to me. Maybe that's his crap film. If anyone's seen it, let me know. But I never really was mad into watching that. I love Blood Diamond. I think that's a very good film. And Shutter Island's good. Inception's good. Send Southgate off. In fact, you can sack him as well if you want, ref. I think you've been miles ahead of us for years. I'm not delusional. I'll not say Arsenal are good, but I don't know what your board is playing at, says Callum Canning. I appreciate that, Matt. Nobody does. Nobody does. Aviator is pretty good, says Red Vexer. Shutter Island's a really good watch. Good film to watch around Halloween, actually, or this time of year. It's got that feeling. Seven's a cracking film. I actually had to watch a clip at the the end of Seven. I mean, some people won't have seen it, so I don't want to ruin it. But if you've not seen the end of it now, I'm going to ruin it, because why have you never watched it? But I had to watch the end of it. It's very clever from the murderer, because he gets what he wants. But is there anybody who wouldn't have shot him at the end? I think if you love somebody and you're in that situation, you're going to shoot them. You're going to shoot them. United Stand had a show at 7 o'clock. Sancho's coming on. And Calvert-Lewin's coming on. So it's got to be for Harry Kane and Mason Mount. I haven't watched Fight Club in years, Ian Ghost. I do like it. It's one of those films that I've probably not seen it enough. Who England's best keeper plus Aladdin equals best Disney film, says Adam Clark. England's best keeper is not playing for England. That's the answer. You can take your pick between Henderson and Pope, but it's definitely not Pickford. Blade Runner 2049 is the best film ever. I've never watched it, mate. God, I need a shave. You know, when I put my nose down now, it's really itching me. I've left it too long. I always leave it too long. Usual Suspects is good, yeah. Baby, you were born to run. 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes to go. American History X, cracking film, yeah. Whoever said that? Craig O'Sullivan, love it. Very good film. True Romance, American History X, they're all sort of around from the same sort of time for me. Sort of, I think, my early 20s, I think. No, I'm not that old. Wouldn't be early 20s. Like, probably 15, 16, actually. I haven't watched The Godfather in ages, but it's a cracking film, Christian. You need to watch the whole trilogy of that. I've seen Green Book. I really enjoyed it. Sergio Danvers. And Interstellar, I don't think I've watched that. Troops has laughed at you. No longer a big club. 90% club. Went to dead now. You joke, man. Think you guys can get Sancho like saying Messi to Fulham, says Young King. Yeah. I'm just going to give you a warning every time Young King tweets that he will mention shit, but he does do the super chat, so I feel I have to read it out. Grealish is not going to get subbed on, is he, Mark? Says Salah Ahmed. Nope. He took Rashford off so he can keep Harry Kane on. He's finally took Mason Mount off for Sancho. And Henderson's coming on now, so we won't see Grealish again. It's so basically, since Grealish played well for England 2 games ago, he's not played for England. And yet Mason Mount has played nearly 2 games full. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And this should be it. Oh, what a terrible miss. Terrible miss, but it goes for a corner for Denmark. Mark, do you think Mount is teacher's pet because he starts regardless of his poor performances, says Kendall? Yep. But Chelsea fans say it's like it at Chelsea, so, you know, maybe he goes into every day with a bag of sweets for the manager, whoever it is. Gareth, I've got your bag of wine gums again. Thanks, Mason. You'll be the first one on the team sheet. Grealish, you smell of booze. You're not playing. But I haven't had a drink in months. Well, you still smell of booze. You're not playing. Corner to Denmark. 15 minutes to go. Sancho is on the pitch. Grealish should have been on the pitch. But he's not on the pitch. So I don't see how England are going to get a goal with Calvert-Lewin and Harry Kane up front, because neither of them are creative players. They're both players that rely on service. Surely Maguire has to be dropped now, Mark. Beyond a joke how out of form he is, says Nova. I agree. Do you think they'll sack him if we had a bad Euros? Can't see them doing it beforehand, even if he lose every game. He won't be sacked before the Euros, Ryan. No way. So we'll have to mess up another international tournament, won't we? I mean, I like Declan Rice, but we don't need two holding midfielders. Phillips and Rice and a back five. I mean, it's just ultra negative. Thoughts on The Matrix, says Skylake. First one's good, other two shit. Darcy Burns says, would you give Tomori a chance? But he doesn't get a chance at Chelsea, so why would you pick a player for England that doesn't get picked for Chelsea? Wolf of Wall Street, of course I've seen it, Stanley. It's a very good film. Get the ball to Sancho. John Wick's very good, Jamie Morgan, yeah. Well done. Well done, Calvert-Lewin. Free kick on the edge of the box. This could be a chance. Harry Kane is clutching his ankle, but it's right on the edge of the box. And it's definitely a foul. Well done, ref. Right in front of you. You couldn't miss that. Lovely hold-up play by Calvert-Lewin. Can't wait to see Everton against Liverpool on Saturday. I like Tomori, but he's got to start playing for Chelsea, hasn't he? Right. Who's going to take the free kick? Reece James, Jordan Henderson. Don't let Henderson take it. I mean, realistically, why is... Have we not got any attacker who can take this? Like, should it not be Sancho or Kane or something like that? I mean, Reece James can hit a free kick. They're going to try and hit this low. They're just going to try and smash this, I think. Here we go. Corner. You need, see, that's a bit like a Rashford free kick from Reece James. It's you're looking to try and get the dip. You need to be curling that. That needs to be a curler. It's too close for the whole Ronaldo hit and dip. You need an Eriksen there. You need someone who can curl it. It's a shame that. It's a big old shame. Chance on the back post. England wants a penalty. Harry Kane's furious. You're not going to get one, Harry. Was it a handball? No. No. There was no contact on the ball. Anyone else think that was a handball? I didn't. Ten minutes to go. Mark, would you take Camavinga at United? 100%. Yeah, defo. I think. On what reason wouldn't you? I think Man City would. I think Liverpool would. He's a young talent. Why would you not take him? Doesn't mean it'll work out, but it doesn't hit anybody's hand. Definitely doesn't hit anyone's hand. Mark, have you seen the original Blade Runner with Harrison Ford? 2024 second place like Southgate. I got a bad back. I have seen the original Blade Runner, yeah. I do need to see the new one, but I wanted to watch the old one again because I haven't seen it for a while before I watch the new one. Rutger Hauer. Oh! Disappointing, really, from England because that win against Belgium now means that we've probably got no chance of finishing top of the group. Hi, Mark. Hope you and the family are well. I think we're going to have to do watch-alongs on Match of the Day, says Gavin Blake. Favourite Star Wars films, lads, says Frosty. Well, there might be women watching. I'm sure there is. They're only human. Paulson, good shot, straight at the keeper. Favourite Star Wars film is Empire, obviously. Then Star Wars. And I like Rogue One. I think Rogue One's a really good film in its own right. Good tackle by Cody. Play on, ref. Play on. Wonder how long it's gonna. How long do you think it's gonna be till we start getting fans back in the ground? Because I don't think anything's gonna get better in the UK until at least sort of March. So do you think they'll trial fans in the grounds before March? Favourite Dark Knight film, says Luke Elson. Yeah, definitely the second one. Niman says probably next season. Yeah, a lot of people are saying next season. I think in the Euros it'll be back. I do think there's going to be a vaccine coming out sort of the start of the new year. Salvation says Mark looks tired. Don't worry, I am tired, but there's only 8 minutes left of this. G4 says I reckon about April. I've already done favourite Christmas film, Michael Stone. Die Hard for me. I've seen Nightcrawler, Jawad. It's a good film. Favourite DiCaprio film? Departed, yeah. I really like it. The music in it's good as well. And I love the Bourne trilogy as well. I need to watch that again. I really do like... I never really used to like Matt Damon, but I actually do quite like him now. Watched Four Weddings and a Funeral years ago. I don't know whether I'd watch it again. Thanks for the super chat, says Ross Greening. He says, what's the worst film you've ever seen? I don't think I could answer that, mate. because there's so many films that I've probably turned off because they were total crap. There was this film. Somebody will know the name of it. There was this film. There's two, actually. There's one with Harvey Keitel in it. Is it Mean Streets or something like that? It's critically acclaimed and people really like it. And it's one of those films I'd never seen. And I watched it about 2 years ago. It was total shit. I just didn't like it at all. I thought it was going to be like Godfellas or something like that. It was crap. I think it was Mean Streets. Hated it. And then there's another film that had Paul Bettany was in it, and I think Nicole Kidman was in it, and I can't remember what the film was called. But basically, they're on this stage, and there's like white lines with somebody's house, a street, but the house isn't there. It's just white lines, and then people come out and talk to each other, and then the people are in their house, but you can see them in the house, and it's all done on the stage. And I suppose it's very arty and clever, but I bloody turned it off after 20 minutes. I was like, this is shit. What a goal from France. Pogba to 40-yard pass down the left to Digne. He passes it to Mbappe, who taps it in, says Ajmal Kosman. And, hey, Mark, can you call Ruben a shark, please? Says Marconi. And thank the Lord, proper football is back this weekend. What are the watch-alongs? I'm guessing City, Arsenal and the United game, says the watch. I can't do City, Arsenal because the second half will coincide with the team news for United, so it just doesn't work. I hate it when it's like that, but I can't do it. Favourite Marvel movie, says Ropolarano. Pick whatever you want. Pick whatever you want, because I don't watch it. Dogville sounds about right. Yeah, it does sound like Dogville, yeah. And everyone's saying it's a classy film. I didn't like it. Four minutes to go. Thanks for the super chat. I've done that. Cross comes in. Denmark clear. Is there any match banned for United with HM? Says Ben Adam. Yeah, unfortunately not. Got to get the cross in there. Oh, for God's sake. The ref is trash, Nilo. It's been really bad. Really bad. Rise of Skywalker is awful, Luke. Yes, you're right. Ethan says, how's it going? I'm a Newcastle fan and I'm looking forward to the game this week. Well, I think Newcastle fans will fancy their chances. I'll be interested to see how Newcastle approach the game. Will he sit back and hit us on the break, which is a good idea, or will he actually try and, go for us? England just chucking high balls into the box now. Kane has been poor yet plays 90 minutes as Salah Ahmed. Yeah, he's the captain, isn't he? He's another one of... He's a more understandable favourite of the manager, to be fair. I can live with that. Do any of the Longstaffs actually play for Newcastle now, considering United wanted to pay 35 million for Sean Longstaff? I bet Newcastle wish they took it now. Who would you like to see up from the Championship, says Alex? Schmeichel punches it away. I mean, England, to be fair, England have put a lot of work in this half, but they've just not been able to create anything. With 10 men. Who would I like to see up from the Championship, says Alex? I don't even know what's going on in the Championship at the moment, so I'll give it a few weeks before I start having a look. Collateral with Tom Cruise was alright, yeah. It's alright. I mean, Tom Cruise has made some good films. He's made some crap films as well. I quite like I always used to. I went through a stage where I used to read all the John Grisham books. They're very samey, but I used to love them. And some of the films are very good as well. Matthew McConaughey is in one with Samuel L. Jackson, which is brilliant, and I've read the book. Can't remember what it's called. The Firm is very good with Tom Cruise in it. Probably a bit dated now, but it was very good. I think Demi Moore was in that as well. Who are you going to face in the Champions League round of 16 in FIFA 20 career mode? We got Real Madrid to fan. Yeah. I hope Ollie drops Maguire on Saturday. He's in bad form and he's as useless as Stevie Wonder's binoculars, says the genius. I love that one. I tell you what, I might nick that. I might use that one as a little shout out to you. Anyway, Harry Kane in the box. Good cross to the back post. He's got to score. Oh, Connor Cody. What are you doing? I've had a couple of headers. I'd say England have had the better chances this half. But he didn't score. Shelby and Hayden play with. We sold them, says Daniel Thompson. One last chance for England to chuck a ball into the box. Well, there's still 2 minutes to go. Actually, the ref has been really bad. You know, I would say that. I mean, I'm not so much on Harry Maguire's sending off, but the penalty was ridiculous. And Southgate will use that as an excuse, but to not bring Grealish on is just bloody ridiculous. Villa's back four should start for England, says Callum Singh. Or Target's French, so that can't happen. Minute and a half to go. Rory says Kane is the best in the world. The referee's a tosser, says Suscops. Are you going to do a 12-hour charity stream this year? I hadn't thought about doing it, but I normally do it in November, so I might, you know, you've just given me some food for thought there, so I'll have a think on that, because I normally do it in the in November on the Saturday of the international break, so I might do that, because it's always good to do. Especially this year when people are struggling, so, yeah. .30 seconds to go. Denmark have got a free kick. I think we know what's going to happen here. Thanks for the super chat. I got a bad back. Thanks for all the super chats today, by the way. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in. FIFA Career Mode is going to be back tomorrow at 3:30 in the afternoon. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And there is a United Stand video that you may not have seen because it was just before this. So go over to that page. Interesting update on Bruno and Pogba from Fabrizio Romano. And Alvin Block says Target's better than Digne. I firmly believe that, but I don't know. I don't know why it's not happened, but there you go. Referee should be just about to blow his whistle. The ball is way in the England half. He happily blows it, and England lose 1-0 from the penalty that was dubious, scored by Eriksson. And I'm sure Southgate will blame the referee. I'd rather blame a manager who is absolutely out of his depth at this level. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you on the next one. Check out the video on the United Stand, and FIFA Career Mode's back at 3:30 tomorrow. See you in a bit.